What's up, everybody? Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here with another review for you, and it's on the Rogue Prince of Persia. Now, I have been getting into the genre, as you may know. I have been playing roguelike games or finding any games that are either full roguelikes or have roguelike modes. Anything that feels like you're going up this constant tower of having to work with what you get, earn with what you can get, and make do with what you can get. So basically, I have to make do with what I earn, with what I use to try to get me through the level. And if you're wondering some examples, look at the game Returnal, look at the game Sorrows, look at Resident Evil Requiem's Leon Must Die, God of War Valhalla, many other games that have those similar roguelike styles or modes built from the ground up to be either a full roguelike game or just a roguelike in style. Now, Prince of Persia has not had any kind of revival in the video game scene, like in a major way. There's still, I think, was it the Crown Jewel or the Crown Prince? I don't know, the other Prince of Persia game. Um, and the one thing that I say that is good is that these Prince of Persia games are going back to their original 2D platforming acrobatic style. Because, yes, the 3D games were amazing at the time. You know, they really were. They still hold the test of time, the original Prince of Persia trilogy. And, you know, hell, even that shell-shaded comic book looking Prince of Persia game wasn't too bad. And Forgotten Sands was, you know, very underrated. But Prince of Persia has not really gone back to its original side-scrolling 2D style in any main way. And the last thing I'd ever thought would be in a roguelike. Now, this game right here, it's very challenging. Very, very challenging. But the hallmarks of the original Prince of Persia is in this game's DNA. Not only is it, yes, it's a side-scrolling game, it's a side-scroller, but it's a side-scroller beat-em-up roguelike. And the acrobats in this game, it's very simple, very easy. You know, you have to use your environment to defeat certain enemies with your acrobats, and each time you go through into a new stage, you get random weapons, random gear, random things to just, you know, you have to make your way through all 9 parts of this, you know, map. And you find story bits, because yes, there is a story here, and the story is not too bad. Actually, I don't even have a problem with the art style. I don't know if anyone has had an issue with the art style. I haven't seen anything really positive or negative about the game. Oddly, it's weird. Everyone's just like mixed from what I've seen about this game. But it's got that one more round mentality factor to it. And to me, that's what makes a roguelike. If it makes you like, you know what? I know I may have died, but what can I do better? Which way can I go this time? Or what path should I take for a better result? Or the difficulty? And the enemies in the game, they are no pushover. I mean, you do level up. Like in any roguelike, you level up so you can either take permanent gear with you or increase your health, your abilities. You know, there is a nice amount of upgrades in this game. It really, for a game that seems so small, but it feels like it contains so much. And that's what I feel is like, you already have me right there going in. And with this 2D, 3D style, like everything in the background looks like it's hand drawn, you know, like a comic book, like a graphic novel, and that's really nice. And then when you look at the prince or the enemies, he has the same art style, but you can see that he has a three-dimensional feel, and so do the enemies. So I really like that style where it's this blend of 2D to 3D, you know, in a side-scrolling. You know, I wish they would kind of do this, but for the original, like, remake the original Prince of Persia games, the original 2D side scrollers in this style, and I think it would be really cool. But other than that, the game, like any other roguelike, you get the most out of it by trial and error, trial and error. You'll succeed, but you'll also fail. And it's up to you to also go out during your mission, or like during each run, and you're also looking for items, or you're looking for secret pathways or hidden areas to find either items for your companions back at the camp, for whoever you find out in any of your runs, whether that be someone to upgrade your weapons, someone to upgrade your gear, someone to upgrade your skills, because the skill tree is pretty extensive for a game like this, which is pretty cool. The weapons are extensive. You can upgrade the weapons, and every weapon has its own strength and its own weaknesses. And it's, again, the whole trial and error. You need to go through the game multiple times. And even then, with the amount of times that I've been through each run, I've only ever completed 2 runs, and after that the game gets really difficult. I don't know if the game runs on any kind of special adaptive difficulty kind of engine or style of game, which is, most roguelikes do that. They do like adapt to your to your play style each time you go through, and it makes it either progressively more difficult to where you can't do the same tactics twice. And I like that. I like that. And these levels are pretty big. You know, when you think it's very simple to get through, which yes it can if you rush, but if you rush, you're not going to be able to find the secrets that are in the levels to help you. Now, don't get me wrong. People can choose how to play this game in any way they like. There really is no right or wrong way to play this game, but the best way to get the most out of it is to go through and inspect everything, find any material, find as much resources, find what you need to make your prince character powerful for the challenges ahead. Because when I got to the first boss of this game, I thought I can take him. No, even the first boss rocks your world. But that is not a sign of the game, or an issue with the game, or anything like that. It's a sign that you or myself as the player have to progressively go through multiple runs to learn the enemy's attack pattern, to learn which paths I can take that would be the less treacherous. Because you also don't get no more than maybe 1 health potion unless you level up, and you rarely get healing upgrades in the field. So it really depends on how skilled you are to get through everything and to find the proper items or to find the proper gear to help you win the day. Just because something benefits you in one field, another item could detriment you in another. Or even if you have everything you need to help you for the challenge ahead, the difficulty is going to adapt to your skill, and it could change on the fly. So that's another mechanic that I like, that it feels like it's ever changing. It kind of feels, even in this 2D 3D style with this map, and this map may be very simplistic, but the environments look like this map right here doesn't do justice to going through the environments yourself. It would look really cool if this was like a 3D shell shaded comic book looking Assassin's Creed, not Assassin's Creed, what the fuck am I saying? Prince of Persia, kind of similar to the one, I think it was in 2009 or 2010 that they had a Prince of Persia game that had another, that it was very comic booky, and you had a female companion with you this whole time, and you were trying to stop like an evil djinn from taking over. I don't know if a lot of people remember that one. It was like a semi-open world. It was like an open world Prince of Persia game. That's the best way I could think of it. It was like an open world Prince of Persia game. And then Forgotten Sands tried to go back to more like the style of not the Forgotten Sands, Sands of Time, Warrior Within, what is it, Twin Princes or Two Princes, whichever one that was, the third one. So Prince of Persia really needed some form of life, and who'd have thought it would be a small 2D, 3D side scrolling roguelike. Now, imagine if they were to take this game and make a 3D style Prince of Persia roguelike. Like, take the mechanics of the original games, of the original trilogy, elements from the Forgotten Sands, and elements from the other comic book shell shading. Is just called Prince of Persia, so it's hard to differentiate unless you have a subtitle. But with that being said, if they were to do something like that, if they were to like just take the original Prince of Persia and make that into a roguelike or a 3D roguelike, it would be really good. It would do really well. I think that would be like extremely fun because it adds to the replay value. And that's what I like about these roguelike games. They have quote unquote infinite replay value. It's one of the very few games that falls under that, where you don't need that like mods to keep a game running or DLC or anything like that. Roguelikes, I feel, alone have infinite replay value because it makes you want to get good at what you're playing. It makes you want to feel like, okay, the challenge may have defeated me, but now I'm gonna learn from the mistakes. It's kind of Souls-like. It gives you that. That's the best way I could describe it. You'll have a Souls-like mentality when you play a roguelike, because just like how you prefer to use specific weapons, specific stats, specific items, or spells, or anything to help you out, like in a game like Elden Ring or Sekiro or any of the Dark Souls games for that matter. Roguelikes, I believe, are in a way mainstream versions of Souls games because they have similar difficulty for certain games. Certain roguelikes have a Souls-like type of vibe and or a Souls-like type of feel. And I just hope that other IPs, even some popular IPs, could benefit from a roguelike type of either game mode or a roguelike game. It's fun when you played in God of War Valhalla. I played Returnal for the first time, and that whole game is roguelike, and I get a kick out of it because it's ever changing. There's plenty of other games that I need to see if they have roguelikes. Currently, my favorite one right now is this one right here, the Rogue Prince of Persia, and Resident Evil Requiem's Leon Must Die. Those are like the current roguelikes that I'm like really into right now. Valhalla I play on occasion, but I've beaten Valhalla so many times and they don't add anything to that one, so I've beaten that one to its fullest extent. But I really hope that this genre, which is called roguelikes, or should just shorten it to just the rogue genre of games, I think games like this should be recognized. Like the whole roguelike genre really needs recognition because it takes games that you don't even think would benefit from a roguelike system and somehow you get a kick out of it. It's insane. Last thing I want to say is be prepared because the bosses in this game are very, very challenging, especially if you go in ill-equipped. Yes, it takes a good amount of skill to take them down because they function very much like a Souls boss. It's like you're playing a 2D Souls boss. If that you're fighting a Souls boss on a 2D playing field. That's the best way to do it. And then it could be challenging or it can be simple. It just all depends on you, the player, how you're going to go about it. So that's really much all I got to say about the Rogue Prince of Persia. It's a nice little game. It takes up nothing. It's literally not even well, I believe 2 gigabytes. Yeah, not even 2 gigabytes of space. But with only 2 gigabytes and with so much stuff to do in the game and so much to see and the replay value is there. The Rogue Prince of Persia, I hope you do something that Ubisoft can't even do, and that's bring life back to your franchise in the future. So, you're a solid game, the Rogue Prince of Persia. And to anyone out there, be sure to like, subscribe, favorite. I'll catch you on the next video, or catch you in the next live stream. That's all I got to say about this game. Take care, everybody, and have a good day, night, or morning.